After making a splash as one of the history boys, Russell Tovey is finally back on Broadway in the acclaimed production of Arthur Miller's A View from the Bridge. We're here at the Lyceum Theatre to catch up with the charming star.
What's up, Russell Tovey?
How's it going, Paul?
How you doing?
Good, thanks.
We're at the Lyceum.
We are the oldest theatre on Broadway.
I was convinced you were going to light a fire for me, but you didn't.
I tried to.
There's an empty fireplace.
No
so where are we? We're like in the bowels of the
We're in
Lyceum.
we're in like a basement room. I think this is. I don't know if they still use this, but I suppose this is where people come for interval drinks.
I guess.
Posh people.
Who is that Lyceum? Is that a guy? Is it Larry Lyceum? Is that named after someone?
Larry? Is it Larry?
I don't know. Is there one?
Lucius Lyceum.
Oh.
I should know.
There's one in London too, right?
There is. The Lion King's
Lion
on there.
King's playing it, but you're not in the Lion King.
I was about to say something about the Lion King, but I thought that can't be right. I have no idea.
I don't think
wish
there is
I
a
knew.
Mr. Lyceum, actually. I'm making that up.
I wish I knew. It sounds like
There's nothing to know. I don't think.
Oh, right. Okay, cool.
So you are in View from the Bridge,
Yeah.
which is like one of my favorite plays. Like Arthur Miller, like really hit it out of the ballpark with this one, right? I mean, this is like a great play.
Yeah.
And you saw it in London.
I saw the press night when it had moved to the West End. This is its third imagining. It was firstly at the Young Vic in London.
Okay.
I didn't see it there, but I saw it when I went to the Wyndhams in the West End of London.
Right.
I saw the press night and I was blown away. And I had no involvement at that stage. And then it won the Olivier for Best Revival, which I coincidentally was guest presenter for. So I presented the Olivier with Anne-Marie Duff to Eva von Hove and David Lamb.
Oh, for this category? You actually present?
Yeah, again,
and that got you a role on Broadway?
Well, that was it. I just gave them an award, and
you just went, you handed them the trophy and you
do
said,
you want to be in it?
Can I do it on Broadway?
Exactly. I didn't. At that point, it was still something that was never even in my thinking. And then it came up and they said, do you want to do the Broadway run of A View from the Bridge, 5 months in New York, playing this great part in this solid production? And I was like, no. And I said yes, straight away, of course. And here I am.
We missed you on Broadway, so it's nice that you're back. Thank you for coming back.
Oh my God, thank you for having me back.
Of course. I didn't make that call, but...
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But I appreciate it. Yeah.
So you were, I remember you in the History Boys.
Yeah.
That was a great little journey,
ago.
huh?
I know, it was mental.
That was like from the British stage to Broadway to the movies.
Yeah,
like.
we did that like over nearly 600 times we performed that show.
Yeah.
And we were here for 6 months, and that was the end of what had been already like a year and a half's running of that production. And I mean, it just did so much for all of us. And even now, like this is 10 years on, and you're still referencing that, and people still reference that, and that was a huge benchmark in my career, which at the time when we started at the National Theatre was only scheduled for 45 shows. And they thought it was going to be a short run, in and out, and it just grew and grew and grew and became like a phenomenon, and it was incredible.
How old were you, and how old was that group, and what were you guys up to?
Well, we were like...
When you got to New York?
When we got to New York, we were like 22, 23.
Yeah, you were hitting the town
thinking
hard.
We were proper adults. We were allowed to drink. Yeah, I mean, we're British boys, and I think we like a pub. So after the show, we'd normally be found in Angus McKindo's.
Oh, it's just closed. Sorry about that. You took the reference to it. Bring it up.
Bar Centrales. Centrales, we used to go to, all the boys, and that's where we'd sort of hang out and then kind of stumble across the sidewalk to get home afterwards.
So if like James Corden, who was in that with you, he's a big talk show star now.
Is he?
That.
Yeah, I know.
Look at that, right?
I know.
That happened. If he said, if you saw him and he would say like, oh my God, do you remember the night that blank? What would one of those nights be?
Oh, right, okay. Well, there's a few that I probably can't talk about, but I will say that we had ambition, and there was 8 of us, and it was a time when things like people were growing into themselves and things were happening, and Dominic Cooper was like, he was cheeky, because there'd be bits of the play where he would come off stage and he would wait in the wings before going back on. And every day or every other day he'd come down and there'd be like a new set of sides for some movie script that he's got a meeting for the next day. And he would just like leave them there at the side, and all of us boys would come in and you'd just try not to notice it. You'd be like, oh, what's that for? Like that. And I think it was tough, and and we did it over 600 times, and as boys, it was hard. And James reminds me of this, but doing that show so many times, I think it's a genesis of doing a play. Repetition is, you end up going slightly mad. You do end up going slightly mad. And I remember I fantasised about getting stabbed on the subway so I could have a show-off. Just a surface wound, not like anything, no internal organ damage, but just so I could have a show-off, because we were all going slightly crazy. But what was so good about having 8 boys is that if one went crazy, the others would go, pull yourself together, sort it out. Then another day, someone else would go crazy, and they're going to be like, oh, it's your day today, it's your turn, all right, chill out, chill out. And I think being boys, we handled it better. I think if it was the history girls, we were all girls, I'm sure it would have been mayhem.
That would have been a different story.
Yeah, I think it would have been mayhem.
What's your ideal situation? Like, what if somebody could hand you your ideal next job, what would it be?
Another TV show.
Yeah?
Like Looking, I've just finished.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Looking.
Oh, okay.
So, Jonathan Groff
my mate.
as a friend of Broadway.com. We love Jonathan Groff.
Who doesn't love Jonathan Groff?
We loved you snogging him.
Yeah?
Did I use that word properly?
Snogging, yeah, that's a good word.
Thank you. And you guys just filmed this, so you were terrible to him at the end of the series.
I wasn't terrible. Why do you think terrible? So that's an interesting thing, is that some people think my character, not me, my character was terrible to Patrick, and some other people think he was being very mature and modern, the modern man's Patrick, and there's quite a strong divide. Right. But my personal view is that Patrick could have handled that with a bit more maturity and gone, okay, all right, cool, this is what I'm in, all right. Right. You met me through an affair. Right. Do you know what I mean? You knew what you were doing. You're going into this with someone that is unavailable, and you've pursued it. Right. So
we just don't like seeing Broadway as Jonathan Groff's side.
I mean, either.
You made him
He's fine, though. He's all right.
So when are we going to get to see this final Looking film that'll be on HBO?
I think March, April, yeah. I flew out and shot it.
What happens in it? Do you want to just give us the basics run?
I'm not allowed to say anything.
Any snogging or?
I don't know.
I think there'll be some snogging.
There'll be something.
Yeah.
There'll be a bit of something, yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
But you liked making that? You liked that?
Oh my God, it was the best. My thing is that I love acting, that's my thing. You saying I'm ambitious and career-driven, I totally am, but what it all boils down to is all the faff that goes around being an actor and people recognising you. That's fine, I understand that, but the core of it all is I just love being an actor. I love acting. That thing when I step on stage, or that thing when I say action and I'm able to pretend to be someone else, it's just what gets me. So everything for me is, if there's a character that I can hook into, whatever medium really, that's something that's what I drive for.
This show, let's just talk about the emotional impact of this show. I mean, like, I got to sit on stage, which is really cool. Yeah. Would you recommend people sit on stage?
Yeah, the stage seats.
The ushers are super serious. Yeah. Just put your phone away. But then very serious. The seats are great. It's the
best. A lot of people were fearful that on-stage seating meant that they would be included and immersed, and that we'd be dragging bodies across them and throwing them like water in their face. We're doing that. No, we're not doing that. It's just the fact that the way the show was first done was in a small studio space, and it had theatre audience on all sides. And to try and keep that feel, they've got the stage seating, and it brings it all in. And what's great about that is you're looking at other audience members as well as the acting on stage, and that in itself is a theatrical device. That in itself is people watching. You know, that's a great thing. So,
do you feel surrounded by people?
Yeah, it's incredibly exposing because we've got no set, and we're all barefoot, and we go straight out there, and you do feel like you're properly exposed. But I think that's the magic of it, because as well as stripping back all the set and like big costumes and lavish production, the words become very clear, but also as a study of actors and a company of actors and the way that they navigate each other and the way they instinctively move around each other is very rewarding as well, I think, as an audience member. I think that slightly gets taken for granted in some other shows where you have everything else to lean on. This is literally about, you can see people, you can see the eye contact. It's very kind of there.
It's definitely like one of the most amazing experiences currently available on Broadway.
Look at that.
So everyone needs to go to
everybody.
the
6
Lucius
weeks.
Lyceum Theatre.
The Lucius,
whatever it's
Lucy
called.
Lyceum.
And see Mr. Russell Tovey as Rodolfo, without an accent, but with great blonde hair.
Thanks. Natural. It's all natural.
Thanks for, yes. I hope to see you back on Broadway soon.
I hope
so. Check out the show. It's playing through, the end of February?
February 21st.
February 21st. You better get down there.
Look at that.
Thanks, Russell.
Thanks, Paul. Cheers.